Welcome, everyone, to the Ask Dr. Joanne show. I am your host, Dr. Joanne Frederick, also known as Dr. J. I am an author, a therapist, and a university professor. Today, we are going to talk about That's right, the Tinder Swindler movie that is hot on Netflix these days. But we're going to do this in a different way. I have my producer who works backstage coming on with us today to talk about this with me. Come on through, producer.
Hey, how are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Excellent, excellent. So, I'm excited about this topic.
Yes, it's a hot topic these days.
It definitely is a hot topic, and you've been on a variety of different news outlets talking about this same topic. So,
Yes.
let's start with tell me a little bit about The Tinder Swindler, the movie.
Yeah, Tinder Swindler. So Tinder Swindler was like number four ranking on Netflix recently. And it's about online dating and red flags in online dating. And it's a true story, actually.
Really? Okay.
It is so true. So this story is about a guy that was in Europe and going to a bunch of other foreign countries, meeting women on Tinder, and he would, love bomb them and gaslight them and all this stuff, and move really quick in a relationship with them. They fell head over heels, and then next thing you know, he's asking them for money because he's in danger and they need to give him money. So some of these women gave him $40,000, $60,000, like huge amount over a period of time, taking out loans for him, opening credit cards. So the whole premise of this story is that there are Tinder swindlers out there. And I would say it's not just Tinder, any in general. And so these social media and news outlets I've been on was pretty much giving red flag signs for
Mhm.
men and women to pay attention to when online dating.
Okay. Okay. Wow, that's incredible. Like the fact that they actually are talking about it in such a way to just kind of simplify it. So, because you are the dynamic mental health specialist that you are, I'm going to have you give us some tips on what would be some things that people should look out for.
Yeah. So, let me give you some history right quick with online dating in the past and currently. So currently there's a lot of they've showed that the statistics on online dating usage has increased since the pandemic, and that the FBI has a lot of investigations going on for a lot of different people. Now, moving back a couple years, many, many years ago, when online dating kind of started in a certain way, I had clients that would come to me about online dating and asking me questions, tips, just anything. And I would help because I know about dating, but not necessarily online dating. So what I did was at some point I went online dating so that I can help clients, right? And
Okay.
so with that, I came up with a method of how to online date and how to have this balance between trusting a person, but at the same time being cautious, right? Looking out for these red flags. So if I was to give tips, the first thing I would say is for you, each individual, be clear on why you are online dating. Some people are online dating because they're looking for love, they're looking for marriage, they're looking for children. Some people are online, when I say looking for children, they're looking to build and create a family. Some people are looking for sexual hookups, and some people are looking for what I call a pen pal. You're just comfortable on the phone, texting, maybe not even talking to the person, but they're just there emotionally supporting you. You as individuals need to be clear on why we are there. Any of those that I just mentioned or anything else I did not mention. Then when you're online dating, you're going to meet people. Part of dating is rejection, being rejected and rejecting other people. So what that means, if you know why you're online, don't let anyone change your reasons out of you being curious. But the moment that you're meeting someone and that's not their intention, keep it
Mhm.
moving. Reject them however way you're comfortable. And so what that means, if I'm online dating and I'm looking for love and relationship and something real and tangible, and I meet a guy online and he, wants to show me his genitals and like he's looking for sex or some type of that type of intimacy, that's not what I'm there for. So I need to exit out of that as soon as possible. Other red flags or things to keep an eye on is what I call love bombing, where a person is um confessing their love to you so early in the relationship, where you're beautiful, I love you, you don't know this person, you never met them. Another red flag is how long are y'all communicating on the site and or through text. Some people do want to hear the person's voice, do a video, and then go on a date. So again, depending on what you're there for, we need to pay attention to like how long you're engaging in those things. Another red flag, if you ask the person for their number, you're comfortable exchanging your number, and even sometimes you can have a Google number or a dating number, a fake number. So it's not your real number, but you're comfortable to share a number, and the number they give you is an international number or even a WhatsApp international number. Pay attention to that because you may not want to date someone who may not be in the same area that you're in.
Mhm. Mhm.
Let's see what other red flags. If the person is overly curious about you, they're asking questions that are real intimate and you're not ready to share that.
Mhm.
And some people even ask security type questions like, what is your mother's maiden name? Who was your first boyfriend? Those are security questions. So
Okay.
make sure that we're paying attention to those questions and how you answer that, or the moment you hear those questions, it might be time to exit if you're not interested in that. Another tip I would say is a person having some type of story that you're supposed to feel that story. So they are only child and their parents died as a young age. The parents died in a plane crash, or they were a single parent, or and again, all of these things I just gave are possibilities of a person's story. But if you're hearing that real early and you're kind of like, okay, many times that's red flags that they're building a story and a case to hit you with the heart so that when they ask you for something, you already know this person's story.
Mhm.
Another red flag is the person wanting to know a lot about the last person that you dated. Many times they're trying to create this persona that you want. So they may ask you questions like, well, what didn't work in the relationship? And you're into your story sharing that he or she was this or that, and they didn't, but they're paying attention, sometimes even taking notes to be who you want them to be so that you can fall head over heels with that person. Those are some red flags.
Okay, so wait, because some of the red flags that you just mentioned are things that people traditionally do when they're not trying to be malicious in dating. For example, I know tons of people that ask, well, why do you think your last relationship didn't work? So, how do we, I guess, maybe you're asking, because when I think of it, I think of myself and when I was dating, and that was one of the go-to questions I would ask. And my reason for asking it was, well, what if this person, has maybe some baggage that I don't want to be bothered with? And so I would ask the question to kind of like see if this was the person I needed to eliminate. So, how can we protect ourselves by, keeping these tips mindful, but also understanding that it is, like you are talking about dating. So, how do we get to know a person without, I guess, you know, those red flags, if that makes
Yeah,
any sense.
yeah, that it makes a lot of sense, and you're right. So I look at it like this: there has to
Mhm.
be a balance between the quality and quantity. So the quality is how you're getting to know this person and how you're allowing them to get to know you. But the quantity is the time frame, right?
Mhm.
So how serious should you take a relationship when you're first meeting someone? I honestly have this rule that I tell my people. It's like a job. When you're in a new job, you have a 30-day probation to 90 days. And in those 90 days, which is 3 months, you're getting to know your job, the duties, the people you work with, the culture, the environment, to say, well, yes, I love it here. Or I can't stay here too long. You're doing the same thing with dating, right? A 30-day relationship, you're getting to know this person, you're still in that mode, and they're getting to know you. A lot of times, another red flag, these individuals that don't have the intention that you do, if you're taking too long, they're going to move on, and taking too long to open up, to share, to get whatever it is that they're looking for. And so that's how you balance that, right? Because you're right, these could be valid questions that you yourself may have, but pay attention to the quantity, how long you're talking to this person, and the quality, how often as well.
Okay. Okay. No, that is actually helpful. Um, so I know that you and I did Copology, the book, and I know that we've gotten a lot of raves about it. But do you think there are some things in Copology that can actually relate to the world of dating and just this whole being swindled by dating?
I do. Thanks for asking that. And so, Copology, for those who haven't heard about the book, is a book that I authored, and it is an anthology with seven other authors, and one is our executive producer, Princess B. And Copology is located on Amazon, but it's also short stories where people are using spirituality to cope with life. But I also give counseling related tips on different topics. So, yes, online dating, I would put some of those topics in there. So, I talk about self love in Copology and how I see online dating relating to self love. Well, some of the tips that we gave on how to care for yourself, how to love yourself can help people in the dating world, right? I mean, I'm sure you've heard people say, well, you can't love someone else until you love yourself. I don't know if
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that or not, but that's kind of the concept what that's coming from in terms of self-love. Another thing is self-care. Another thing in the book that we talk about is men need self-care too. As we talk about online dating and scenarios like Tinder Swindler, a lot of people think, oh yeah, women, they can get caught up in this, so can men. So I think in the book there's tips for men to also pay attention to themselves and for people to pay attention to men. Um, and I think those are the areas that I can see within the book how it relates to online dating.
Okay, excellent. So I guess I'm just sitting here, and maybe it's because I haven't done a whole lot of online dating, but I know that because of the pandemic, I have girlfriends who, have kind of stuck their toe into online dating. And many of them, when you made the comment um, about knowing what you want, many of them know that they maybe just want a companion, or maybe they do just want to hook up. But a lot of times it seems like certain platforms give you way more hookup than they give you real people that are looking for the same things that you're looking for. So are there any places, like I know there's a website called Meetup, where it's really just people in your local area that might have some of the same interests that you do. Do you suggest maybe looking at other activities instead of online dating?
I would suggest using all of the above depending on what you're looking for. I
Okay.
think that because we're messing in the virtual world, there's a lot of other intentions out there, right? Including cyberbullying. And so I wouldn't say that any platform is safer or better or you will find people that's more serious than others. I don't think so. I do think that the online dating platform, some of them may be, if you're into interracial relationships, if you're into men over 50, if you're into, there's a variety of things that they may try to capture. But
Okay.
I'll tell you, if you're paying for an online dating app and they screen the people before they allow them on the app, there might be a better chance of meeting less con people, or as we call it, catfish.
Okay. Okay. Well, this was an extraordinary topic. Dr. Did you have any final thoughts for us?
Yeah, thank you. So, um, I'm always thinking about my viewers, right? What are they thinking? Are they enjoying this topic? And do they want to hear more of this? So, my question is to the viewers, send me a message if there's other topics that's relevant to you that you would like to hear. Because I think if it's relevant to you, it's relevant to someone else. And we can, capture those topics and just educate.
Excellent. Well,
Don't forget, and so with my Ask Dr. Joanne show, don't forget to like, share, and communicate with us.
excellent. Thank you so much for having me as a guest on the show.
It was great. Love it.
Mm.